Hello, hello, everyone. What is going on this fine Thursday afternoon? It is 1:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jocelyn is here as well. Jocelyn
Hello.
is there in
I'm
her.
trying to figure out why you put the date as 15/8/20.
This is metric, European, Jocelyn. That's how they do it in the rest of the world. Us Americans don't exactly know how to do it right.
I don't know, but it's weird. I mean, to
All right.
me.
I do not have the counter apparently on in the forum to see who is here. Who all is here right now? If you can hear us, please let us know in the chat. I'm going to put, can you hear us? Hit play. If not, play on the video too.
Oh, we've got Abby here. I hope I said that right. He
Yep,
says that he is.
I did. It's showing the countdown now. Okay, so we're probably a little bit behind real time. So what we want to go ahead and do is I'm going to put in the chat that you need to go ahead and submit questions now because we are a little bit behind on the audio. Tell us as soon as you can hear us in the chat.
Abby is checking in at work. Shh.
What is your job, Abby? What do you
I
do?
hope I said that right. I'm not sure
Is
if
it
that's right.
Abby? Abby? I'm gonna call you A. What up, AH? Because I cannot. We're terrible with names. We butchered someone's name earlier on a podcast recording, so not a big deal, I guess. We all love each other. All right. I'm going to put in the chat. Can you hear us now? Quick sound check here. When we get, I'm going to hit pause on the broadcast, and as soon as we get some confirmation that our sound is working, we will roll into this at 2 o'clock. I see a Y. What does that mean? I see a Y. Let's see.
I think it's maybe supposed to be like a thumbs up, like
Like
on
a yes.
Facebook or
Okay.
Skype.
All
But
right.
on Chatwing,
It
none of
doesn't do
the
anything.
yeah
Yeah.
the little emoticons are really weird. Like you have to push on the.
Eric, are you still here? Can you hear
I can't
us?
find it.
Yes, just like Bobby. Oh, Abby.
Yay!
Okay, so he can hear us. Good. All right, perfect. Okay.
That was pretty good.
Let's see. Let's give everybody a few more minutes. I'm going to hit pause here real quick, guys. We're going to send out a quick email to remind everyone that the chat is going on, and we will be right back. All right, guys, we are live and in person here, and the broadcast is going. Make sure everybody can hear us. People are starting to roll in here. We sent an email out this morning. I think I'm not going to send an email out right now just to keep from flooding people. But welcome to our monthly member call. As people start rolling in, you can start putting your questions into the chat box right now. Thank you very much, Patrick. We are glad to be back on track as well. It's been an exciting few weeks around here, to say the least. A couple quick announcements. We do have our latest podcast out today, and it is the second in a series of podcasts that we have about what happened to us and how you can avoid it too. You wouldn't believe the information that we've figured out on getting hacked and identity theft in the last few weeks. And it is crazy how vulnerable the world is to this. So make sure you listen to that and please share this podcast with everyone that you know. Share it on your private Facebook, on Twitter, because there's a lot of information in here to protect yourself just personally from getting hacked. 47% of Americans had their data compromised in the last 12 months alone. So this is not just a problem that happens to people who have a podcast or have a big listenership or an audience member or an audience like that. This is something that happens to everyone. So our new podcast is out, and I'm going to actually bump into the forums real quick. Let me pull out let me change which menu I'm sharing here. If I can get back over to my Google Hangout, I'm going to screen share a different screen. And I'm sure there's a way to toggle through this. Let's jump over here to this one. I don't want to do that one. All right. We also have the videos that are being repaired in our website right now inside of the forums. I know we've had a lot of problems with the videos where it's showing like an S3 thing and some of our trainings have been down. That is getting fixed, and we are going to try to get that fixed as soon as possible. But it's going to be a little while because we're trying to do a few a day. Remember, we've got a lot of other things that are broken in a lot of other places besides just the videos. We are making the forums our number one priority because we want our training videos to be fixed fast so that you guys have all the access to that you need. And yes, we are on the East Coast, Abby. I saw your question there, but we are trying to get those up as fast as possible, and they will be done soon. We don't know exactly how soon, but there's a lot of videos that are broken, so we're trying to get those uploaded fast. I've got at least half of the ebook course fixed, and we're trying to fix everything else. Okay, so we are actually going to open this straight up to questions today. We usually share a book that we've been reading or something like that, but guess what? We didn't read a lot of books during the hack. All right. So let's go ahead and take questions now. Any online business questions that you have, this call is for you guys. Looks like we've got 8 or 9 people that have rolled into the forum today and are checking this out. So go ahead for anybody that's got a question, put that into the chat right now, and we will start rolling with those answers. All right. All right, guys. Looks like our audio is a little out of sync with the chat room. Jocelyn, let's put some things in the chat because that's real time. And we will start rolling those answers out right away. It's always weird when we're doing these webinars and things because the chat is always like right instantly as soon as you put that in, and the audio is always paused, like a little bit behind. So like we like sometimes we're about 2 minutes ahead of what's actually happening in the webinar from the chat room. So it gets really confusing. That's why when we do these question and answer sessions or we do our webinars, Jocelyn usually mans the chat room, and I'm usually doing the vocals because we can never keep it in sync. And if you try to keep up with the chat in real time, and then you're trying to do the webinar or the Q&A in like ahead of time, you can never sync it up. All right, we're rolling in now. Keep asking your questions. I think we have a question in from Rusty.
All right, Rusty says, when someone really doesn't understand what topic or niche to focus in on, what can help? And I think really the answer to this is kind of tricky because it really just depends. And I know that, that's not what you want to hear, but you just have to think about things that you know about. What do you know about maybe like your skills? What do you enjoy? And if you don't know for sure, you can even ask somebody who's close to you, like, what do you think someone might pay me to learn about? And those are just some ways to go about it from the very beginning.
And I think that you have to, Rusty, we've talked about this in the forums quite a bit. You've made big lists. You're going to have to pick something. I mean, it all comes down to eventually taking action. And you can't pick the exact right, perfect niche. You can't. There's no way that you can get this right the first time. There's no way you can swing and hit a home run at right away, like at the first at bat. You just cannot do that. So you're going to have to pick something and just do it. When we started out, we looked at a bunch of things that we could do, and we started with a couple things, and those went away because they weren't the right thing for us. You don't have to be the expert. You don't have to be a PhD at whatever you're doing, but you are eventually, if you're going to do online business, you're going to have to just, there's a gut check time where you have to go out and do something. So, I would go back to that list in the forums that we made, Rusty, and I would say, pick one. It doesn't matter how you pick them. There's not a right answer. There's not a wrong answer. The goal right now is just to do something and to get something done and to at least learn the process of creating a website, an online business, and things like that. Even if the first one fails, which it probably will, that's okay. You get more at bats. So at this point, when someone's having a hard time struggling to pick their niche, I would just say do something. If you really can't figure it out, you can either sit there and argue with yourself and go back and forth and hope for the perfect answer to show up, or you can just pick anything, the one you like the best, and you can just do it. So that's kind of the tough love answer, is to get in the game, get off the sidelines, do something, doesn't matter what, and start. And if you find that later, 2 or 3 months from now, it's not working perfectly or exactly what you wanted, you at least will have had all those lessons that you learned during that time, and you'll be able to move forward with your next idea that you think is going to be better, or you can grow and pivot. So anybody that's struggling with a niche out there listening in, just do something. You can't sit there and wish and hope or it won't work. If you're not building and creating and making and taking decisive action, you're never going to move forward. Okay.
Hey, our cruising friends, how's it going?
Are the cruise dudes rolling up in here right now?
They
All right.
are.
All right. All right, guys. That was a great question by Rusty about how to choose a niche or how to pick a topic, what can help. We talked about just taking action. So let's throw another question or two out there. Also, guys, please remember you can answer or you ask your questions ahead of time. The chat and the audio are not synced in real time. What you are hearing right now is what we said about 3 to 5 minutes ago. So you have to ask your questions ahead of time. I know a lot of you are listening in right now and maybe trying to write some notes and do things like that during the call. But this time is for you to ask as many questions as you can and to take advantage of it, us being here, so we can answer your questions that you have right now about online business. So do that ahead of time. Just put your questions in, push them forward. It doesn't matter. We'll get to them here in a few minutes. because we are totally out of sync with the chat and the audio. So you do not have to wait. Put that in the chat room, Jocelyn, too, that they don't have to wait to answer their questions. Because if you do, there's going to be pauses in the audio while we're trying to go back and check the chat room. And we need to be able to go ahead and jump to the next question right away. So just go ahead and submit your question in the chat right now, and we will jump all over that. Okay. All right. Eric's got a question.
All right. Eric says, is there a way to protect your lesson plans
Mm.
from all being printed off during a free trial? We have the problem that we want everyone in the free trial to see and try everything.
Yep. That's right. You
And
sure
to
do.
do that, they need to print them off, but we don't want them to print everything off. Oh, this is the age old
Yeah.
question,
I'm
my
not sure,
friend.
real quick, though, why would they need to print everything off? Can't you just couldn't you just create a way for them to view them? They don't have to actually print every piece of paper, do they?
Well, and why are we doing a free trial would be my
Yeah,
question.
that's a good question too.
I just do a sample on Elementary Librarian. I don't let you have access to everything that I have. And theoretically, I mean, I do sort of have a problem personally with people being able to just log in for, $39 a month, $49 a month, and they could access everything that I have in, say, 1 week and then quit. But
That's not going to happen,
it probably will happen, honestly, but
but
it
not all the
probably won't
time,
happen often.
right?
So Eric says he means inside a membership site and they need to hand them out to other teachers.
Okay, Eric, this is getting a little bit confusing. Let me touch on a big issue, and hopefully this will kind of cover that. If you're creating a resource that 100% they're going to have everything printed off and there's no reason for them to ever come back, you do not have a membership site. You've got a digital product that they're going to print. But if you've got something that they need to come back to over and over again, I think that you do music lesson plans and things like that. I'm still not sure why they've got to print everything at once. But let's talk about membership sites in general. Membership sites in general, you can put all your content in there. Jocelyn and I do this with all of our history lesson plans and our librarian lesson plans. And in theory, someone could go print every resource the week that they are there. They could print it off and leave. But the bottom line is, we've created it in a way where they have to click multiple links to get to each day's lesson. So when they log in, they might have to click a unit and then the lesson plan and then the resource to print everything. So they're going to have to click everything 10 to 20 times just to get that one day's lesson plan. It would be very, very hard for them to go through every single thing. It would take them probably a week or two to do it. And you know what? If they're going to do that, then that's fine. Let them do it. 90% of the people will just keep that as their place that they store your lesson plans. We have hundreds and hundreds of members in our membership areas, and nobody really does that. Nobody just goes in and clicks every single thing. I've never seen, you can watch what people do on your membership site. I can see like what posts that you guys read. I can see where you all click. I mean, we can look at the data to see where people are going. I've never seen anyone do that. No one's tried to click everything, watch everything in a day, and then quit. You just don't have enough time in the day. And the membership builds a community, is the goal of the membership. That's what it does. It builds, you want them to have the resources. The stuff is why they come, but people stay because they're being led by, and they have a community and they have people to lead on when they need help. So don't worry about people downloading all your information in one day. They could do that, but 9 times out of 10, people aren't going to do that.
And Eric, I wonder if there might be another way for you to set up the free trial. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. I mean, on elementarylibrarian.com, at the very top, I have what's called resources. I have some resources that are only available to people who are paid members, and I have a lot of other resources that are free to anyone for anyone to use. And that way, they're able to try out all of the things. Well, not all the things that I have to offer, but a lot of the things that I have to offer and see if it's going to work for them before they decide to make the financial commitment. So, just a thought. I mean, you can check mine out if you head over to elementarylibrarian.com and just click on resources up at the top, and you can kind of see how I have that set up a little bit. And that might be an option for you just so you don't open up your entire catalog of things to people who may not eventually pay for it.
Yeah, and I still go back to what Jocelyn said earlier. I don't think you should be giving away a free trial to your entire website. Give away a small sample and let people in, but like just let them see a taste of what they're going to get. If someone's going to pay for something, at least get their first payment and make them go in and get it. And if you've got something that's really easy to download, you're going to have to look at other content. Let's look at some comments on this question. Sarah said, "Ooh, good point, Shane. Thank you. Appreciate that."
I like how you read that one.
You like I said,
Like
ooh,
that's the
I
one
got
you
the
chose.
ooh in there. And then, so the membership basically will have mainly interaction and video content and the promise of new content. I would actually say that the promise of new content is not a part of this. The interaction and the leadership and the place to go get answers is really what it's all about. Now that there could be content from the users generating conversations or exchanging their own information, but yeah, I would say mainly it's the interaction, the existing content, and some instances you would want to provide some kind of benefit per month. Okay.
I
Eric
wanted
had a
to
follow up of the
say,
500 video clips. Did you see that?
um, yes, and I actually wanted to throw out there, Eric, check out this website. It is, I just had it up here. Hold on one second, but it was making sound, so I had to turn it off. Hold on.
We played a video basically right in the middle of our call here.
It is called Simple Nursing,
Oh
and
yeah, that's a great
this
song.
guy does a really good job of giving away some really good free content, but then he also balances it with having to pay for the rest of it.
Yeah,
So check that out. I'm going to put the, what did I say it was? Simple
simple
Nursing.
nursing. Yeah,
I'm
.com.
going to put the URL in the chat box.
Okay. And Eric
Um,
also said we also have over 500 video clips inside the membership that they would need for their lesson plans. They will need the videos to follow the plans. Oh, I see what he's doing. They're giving away the plans, and then all the resources are in the membership thing. I would be careful with that. You don't want to give away the plans, because that basically a lot of people get lesson plans, especially in America. Eric, I know you guys are overseas. In America, people need the lesson plan more than they need the actual content sometimes because their district is going to require them to document their lesson plans in a book binder or something like that. So you may be giving away exactly what they want and they never even come by the resources. They just use whatever they can find for free. I would charge for the actual lesson plan. What I do on the history side is I drip resources. Like every week, I'll send out a worksheet or a PowerPoint or a test or a quiz, just a little drip from all of the stuff to our members and say, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have all the other stuff that comes with this lesson plan, including the lesson plan itself? The lesson plan is the actual value is going to drive people to pay you because they need that plan to kind of cover their own butt and tell them what to do with the resources. Okay, kind of see what you're saying there, but that video should be a draw to keep people paying. They're not going to leave if they have to get those videos. Okay, all right, let's see here. All right, let's see. Let me scroll down. I'm a little behind on the chat. Jocelyn, do you have another question? Let's see
yeah,
here.
Jeanette says, I'm having a hard time getting teachers to talk to each other within the membership.
Okay, same here.
Do you have any tips?
Yeah, right.
This is something that I'm kind of struggling with myself. I already have like I think 400 and something members on Elementary Librarian, which is great, but none of them are really talking. Well, I say none. I mean, I probably have like 20 people who have talked, maybe like 25. And what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to go in and start conversations. I'm looking for people who are talking in the forums, and I am asking them to be community leaders for me and kind of take some initiative to go in and start some conversations and reply to people as well. Another thing that I'm doing is I have started doing a monthly newsletter, for lack of a better word, that basically just it highlights some conversations that are going on. And I include the links to those conversations so people can jump in. And then it also includes like some new resources that I put out and just things that they need to be aware of in the forums. So, I would say just awareness is key. Make sure that you have videos that explain to them. I think a lot of times people in education are not the most technically savvy people.
No, they're not. No, not at all.
And yeah, that's to put it very nicely. So you probably need to make some instructional videos just to make sure that they understand how to post in the forums, how to reply to things in the forums. And that's something that we sometimes don't think about because we don't have those issues. Like we understand how to post in forums, but some people don't. So they may need a little bit of extra hand holding in that way also.
And I would say this too, like I think a lot of people are used to just being sold something and then like dropped like a bad habit. It's like, a lot of internet marketing people from the biggest most famous gurus all the way down to just, little scammers on the side that are actually trying to scam people. Most people just sell you something as fast as they can for as much as they can and they move on to the next, person. They don't care about you. So I think that people are a little shocked that there is this community that supports them and helps them in whatever they're buying from you on top of the actual product that you've given them. So you have to educate your people. We're here for you. This is a place to talk. This is a place to get answers. We don't have everything in the training or everything in the resources, but whatever you need, you can ask for it. And all the community members and the leaders in this community will rally around you and help you. And you have to lead your community. We have thousands of posts now in the Flip Your Life forums, but and we're only a fraction of those now because everybody else is helping each other. All of you guys talk to each other, and you guys make the posts and we answer questions. So, but that didn't start that way. At the beginning, I was in the forums every day, driving discussion, doing like Jocelyn said, emailing people to come in and talk to specific discussions, personally contacting people. And also, you have to draw a line at people. If someone's Facebooking you or emailing you questions, even customer support, you should not be handling in your emails. When you have a membership, you should take care of that in your forums. You've got to train your users that everything has to take place in the forum. If you're over on email, if you're doing Facebook messages, if you're on a Facebook group and you're taking care of all this in other places, there's no reason for them to come to a forum. So lead, take initiative. It'll happen over time as you grow. People will start using the forums, but it's going to be a slow process starting out.
All right, the next question is from Rusty. Rusty says, do you have to have a ton of content before starting a membership site? Will people just pay or pay for just a support community?
I don't think they'll pay for just a support community, but you really only need a seed kind of content to get them started. The first the first anything we ever sold was basically a Facebook group, and it was a product that wasn't even created. The only thing that we had content wise when we started the Flip Your Life concept was the goal setting guide and the time management worksheet, and that was pretty much it. So yeah, we didn't. You don't need a lot of content to start. What you need is an organized plan that says we're going to roll content out in the future, and that the stuff draws people in, but the community is why they stay. All your customers are eventually going to watch all your videos. Okay, they're going to do all your worksheets. They're going to take all your trainings, but in any field, you can't make enough trainings to cover everything. There's always going to be another question. That's why people stick around. So you have to have some content. You can't just open a forum and hope people join. But you don't need much content. You just need a steady drip coming out in the future, and they need to know that you're there for them, basically.
And sometimes the best way to go about this is by doing a beta. So you offer your eventual product at a reduced price to people who are willing to come in and basically test it out for you and help you to develop the content. So that is certainly a viable way to do it. We've done it this way several times now, and it works. I mean, it really lights a fire under you to get it done because you
Yep.
have people in there, they're paying, they need this information, and it also is good because it really helps to shape the course of the product into what people actually need. And you're not just guessing at what people want.
Yeah. So basically, start something small. That's your lead magnet or what into the community, and then they'll keep paying as it grows with you. Okay. All right. Next question is coming from Dino Cummings, and Dino writes, if you already have a successful recurring subscription model, we have monthly subscription boxes. So basically, that's a service where people send out monthly physical boxes full of something. Like we have friends that do it, used to do it for babies, first time moms. They would order these boxes and they would get them every month that had like shampoo and soaps and things like that. These subscription boxes, would you treat ebooks, courses, and all that as a separate business? No, I wouldn't. We have an actual really good case study that we're going to be bringing up probably sometime in the near future. Some friends of mine, Eric Lambert and Daniel Metters, who are members of Flip Your Life. You can read their story. They actually posted in the success forums recently about what happened for them. They sold physical products on Amazon, which is very similar to selling these subscription boxes that you have, and they went and made a digital product, which was a course to kind of teach people how to do things like this, which might be what you're trying to do here, Dino. And it's all part of the same business. And they made $112,000 gross revenue on their first launch. And they already had a pretty good existing customer base or audience that they could release to. They did some JV partnerships with some people to get it in front of some people. So they did have to pay. So they didn't keep all that money. I think they said that yesterday. That I talked to them yesterday. So they made like $50,000 total off of it. But they just it was part of their business. It was a branch. It was another tentacle in the octopus. You know, your business is the head, but you have different ways of reaching out and getting people. The key is serving the same avatar. You don't want to start separate businesses. You want to serve one customer with different products or different kind of reach.
Well, and I would just say that that is totally correct as long as it is related to that product.
Exactly. Yeah. If
I
you're starting
mean,
something completely different.
obviously,
Yeah.
elementary librarian is not really related to flip lifestyle, so
Exactly.
those do not cross. But if it's something that is related to what you do, there's no need to start another business about that.
Yeah. So, Dino, if this is about like if you're teaching people how to start a business around monthly subscription box services, I would say it's the same business. If this is a completely different field altogether, then you're probably going to have to, start a new website and treat it separately. Okay. All right. Patrick Roden, where are you at? Are you scrolled up to Patrick right
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
You got the Twitter question?
Hmm.
Read that one out.
All right, Patrick says, have you guys tried marketing on Twitter? I'm wondering if that is a worthwhile avenue or if I should be focused on my 2,000 plus person email
That's a good
list.
email list to start out with for sure.
That's really good.
Yeah, I think here it all boils down to this, Patrick. This is. I just had a conversation about this with Pat Flynn not 2 days ago. On we were talking online and sharing some ideas, and he was asking me about Twitter because we have had some success with Twitter ads, but it was only in my football coaching business. When we tried to use Twitter ads in some other places, it did not work as well because the audience wasn't there. Where is your audience? Where do they hang out naturally? Our people that flip lifestyle, especially, are usually on Facebook. That just seems to be where we have the most success because a lot of our users are a little bit older people. We're in that 27 up to and up range. They're kind of past college. They're married. They've got kids, and that's who gravitates toward Facebook. Football coaches are really kind of ADD and they can't handle Facebook and they don't want to get into all that family mushy sharing pictures and stuff. Football coaches like wham bam thank you man, and they like to read the news and they like to just get things quick so they can go to football practice. So they love Twitter. So when I did ads on Twitter, it worked for football coaches, but it did not work when we tried it for Flip Lifestyle. So I think that you've got to evaluate your audience first. Okay. Where are they on social media? That's where you should focus your attention. You don't have to be everywhere. Be in the best place for your audience. And I would definitely, if you've not monetized that email list, there's a lot of people starting out that would kill for a 2,000 person email list. We started making really good money on email lists of like 500 and 600 people. That's when we really started hitting good money. So I would totally focus your time and energy on the email list right now until you fully monetize the audience you have. And then I would expand probably to social media where your people hang out, where they're naturally inclined to go. That might be Twitter, but it might not be.
Well, and I would even venture to say that you should upload your list into maybe Facebook and Twitter, see how
Ah,
many
good
people
point.
that it finds, and whichever one is the highest, then maybe that's where you should concentrate any types of paid advertising that you want to do. Because you have to remember that people don't always see your emails. Like you may email people and it might be going into their bulk or spam folder, but if you also upload that list into some type of social media network, then you can hit them in a different way, so you're still getting your message out in front of them, but just not necessarily through email.
Yeah. So
So
what, Jocelyn, when you go make an ad, you have in both services, any service usually gives you a chance to create a custom audience. So you go to your email provider, you download a CSV file, and then you upload that into Facebook or Twitter. And like Jocelyn said, if you've got 2,000 emails, maybe it only finds 1,000 of the same emails in the Facebook database or the
probably not even that
right,
many.
not
Yeah,
even that
maybe
many.
like 5 or 600.
Right. But one of them is going to have more than the other. And that'll give you a really good indication if you've got, if you've got 1,000 of your emails list is on Facebook and only 200 or 300 are on Twitter, there's no reason to waste money on Twitter because that might not be where your audience is going. And as your email list grows, you'll be able to really hone in on which social network you really need to focus on. Okay.
All right. I like this question to Jocelyn. That's right. Introverts for the win right here. Thank you, Eric.
Jocelyn gets the introvert questions.
uh, well, I'm not saying Eric's an introvert because I really
Are
don't
you
know,
an
but
introvert, Eric? Because introverts are naturally drawn to one another. I'm the extrovert.
I'm just saying this question
This
is
is
for
for you. I
me.
will not answer this
Yeah, I'll believe that when I hear it.
question.
All right. Eric says, do you use Facebook advertising for your membership site? If so, what is your monthly yearly fee? And have you managed to find out how much you have to pay for Facebook advertisements to find a new
So
customer?
I think he's looking for ratios here of like, is he looking for ratios of like how much? What does he mean fee? Oh, how much do we pay?
Yeah, I think it just means like what are you trading for a new customer, basically. I actually have not started my advertisements on Facebook for Elementary Librarian. The reason being is because
This year, right?
I
Yeah.
had intended to start them a few weeks ago, but we got hacked. So my plans have sort of been, taking a back seat just for a little while. But what I'm working on right now, I'm actually working on some automated webinars that I'm going to be running some Facebook ads with. And I'm going to take my email list and upload that into Facebook and target people in that way. So they're not actually going to be going to a sales page, but when I take them somewhere, they're going to go to a free, what I call an e-course, but it's basically just a recorded webinar, and it's going to have some good information for them and also an invitation to join the membership community. So to answer your question, I have not advertised this as of yet. And really your conversion rate, I mean your dollar amount, it
Wildly
widely
varies.
varies
Yeah.
between niches. I mean, it can be anything from a couple of dollars to sometimes, maybe $10, $12 in some niches. But to me that's worth it. I mean, even if it costs me $10 to get a customer, then theoretically they're going to be paying me much more than that for a really long time.
So what the formula works out basically is this: like, and and like Jocelyn said, and for football leads or teaching leads, sometimes it might be as cheap as a quarter to get an email. But for internet marketing, it might be $5 per lead. But the math formula works out is very simple. If you have a product and it generates $200, okay, then for every one customer, you need to make more money than $200. So if you get 20 lead, or how much was it? Yeah, if you get 20 leads and they're $10 per lead to get one sale, then you spent 200 to make 200. That doesn't work. But if you can get, 20 leads for $5, well, now you only spend $100 to make that one sale, and that makes you the $200. So you doubled your money. So that's kind of the game on Facebook that you're looking for is look at your how much your product is, figure out how many people you got to get on your email list to make a sale, and you've got to spend less than that through your targeting. If you're spending the same or more, then that might not be the right place to advertise. Goes back to Patrick's question. You might need to be somewhere else to spend your money. So that's the basic formula. There's no way to compare niches. So what you're paying, even in between education, what I pay for a history site and you pay for a music site is different than what Jocelyn will pay for a librarian. They're all different. You just got to experiment with your cost and test it. It takes 3 or 4 months to get a really good ad rolling. So it's not something you can just do $5 a day for a week and you understand exactly what your dollar per lead is. You're going to probably have to lose some money up front to test things and then start making that back on the backside. Okay.
But if you're targeting the right people, I mean, we have had a lot of really good
A lot of
success
success.
on Facebook ads. So just make sure you're targeting the right people. If it's people who are already familiar with you, you can certainly give them like special offers. If it's people who don't know you at all, you need to be bringing them into some type of free something
Right.
so that they can get to know you and your brand.
All right. Raquel asks,
Oh, wait, we skipped Tanya.
oh, did we skip Tanya? Sorry about that.
Yeah, and so much for you not answering that question, right?
I didn't answer that question. I supplied information about another question involving Facebook formulas.
Right.
I can't
Okay.
not talk, Jocelyn. That's not
I
how it
know.
works.
All right. So
I can't do
Tanya says, would you recommend doing a forum instead of a Facebook group
it. Yes.
for memberships?
Yes.
I am not really getting many people to join the Facebook group, so it's making it hard to engage, and nobody really talks there either.
Mm,
They still have their membership access with their materials, but wondering if I should add a forum instead.
yes.
And let me just say before we answer this that for a very long time I was against forums. I'm not, I mean, I don't know. I like them, and I can see the merits of having a Facebook group and having a forum. Let me put it that way. So,
But the reason that we don't have a Facebook group for this, like Flip Lifestyle, the reason we don't do that is because we got some very good advice from a very high level marketer at a mastermind group meeting, and he told us basically you can't be half in the pool. You can't do it. You're either all in or you're all out. Because if you diversify yourself and spread yourself thin, if you've got a Facebook group over here and you're answering emails over here and you've got forum posts over here, then nobody's going to use anything. Okay. So the reason that we recommend a forum is for two reasons. Number one, get rid of the Facebook group and force everyone to go where your content lives. If everyone's conversation happens where your content lives, that will make them log in more, so they'll use it more, so they'll stay longer. Okay. And also, Facebook is terrible, terrible for content management, losing conversations. You can't keep up with who said what to who. But in a forum, everything is threaded forever. So every time members talk, every time they discuss anything, you get to keep that data forever in your forums for all your members that come on. So now, if they now when they the new members search for things, there's already discussions ready to go for them. People have been talking about them. In Facebook, you control your forums. If Facebook at any time can shut your group down. We had some friends not long ago. They logged in one day and Facebook had turned their group off. No reason, no recourse, nobody to call. Facebook does not have customer service phone numbers. There's no way they could get it back. They lost thousands of members. So you're just giving your control of your business to somebody else, basically.
Yeah, and I just wanted to throw in a couple of reasons that I like forums better than Facebook groups. A little bit different than what Shane was saying, although those things are also really good reasons. I like them because it keeps you off Facebook, to be quite honest,
Oh, great
because
point.
I just, you'll go on to ask a question about something, and before you know it, like you're 2 hours later watching a video about a cat or something. And I don't have time for that personally, so it works out better for me to not have to log into Facebook. I really try not to log into Facebook very often throughout the day, just because it's really distracting for me and it gets me off target of what I'm working on. Another reason that I like Facebook, or I'm sorry, forums instead of Facebook groups for what I'm doing now is because in education, a lot of times people are not able to get on Facebook from their school.
Ooh, good point.
And that is one reason why a lot of people weren't talking in elementary librarian, because they weren't allowed to be on Facebook.
Employers block it too. It's not just schools. Like employers don't want their employees on Facebook. So you may be cutting people off from accessing your stuff during the day, like on their bathroom break or lunch break or whatever, to check in on your stuff. And also, too, that distraction carries over to your audience. Your audience is going to get on Facebook, and maybe that's why they're not talking. They log in, they see a message, they read it, but before they can even reply, they get a notification of somebody sharing a meme or the latest Donald Trump article from the
And if
from the
you're like
presidency.
me, you don't even remember why you got on there.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's just too distracting, basically. So those are all the main reasons that we use forums instead of Facebook groups. You'll probably find some people that would argue us on many of those points, but we have had a ton of success so far, and it's also easier to deliver your content. We have all of our trainings in the forums. Like you just go to another forum to watch a video, then you hop over to another forum to discuss your online business, and it's just a lot easier that way to access and store your information. So all right, let's jump on to Raquel. How do you balance providing free content and not giving all the information away for paid products? Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? But yeah, the problem with that question is you got to go out and get the cow. If I'm the farmer, I know how to go get the cow and pull the cow into the barn, and I know how to milk the cow, and I know how to all that works. I know how to go homogenize the milk and all that good stuff. Like, so when you go to a blog, you may find a really great article, but there might be 500 other articles that are about that topic on the blog post that are just spread everywhere, and you don't know exactly how to find everything. When was the last time you went to a website or a blog and you read every single piece of the information? You've never done that. Nobody has. But a lot of people will go into forums and you've got all the content nicely organized, A to Z. This is what you do. This is who you ask to get help. That's what people pay for. People pay for convenience and access. They do not pay for content and stuff. So I would say that, give away pretty much everything, 90%. What does you always say? Sell the what and why, but not the how kind of deal.
No, we heard at a conference
Yeah,
once
that's
that
right.
you sell or you give away the condiments and you sell the hamburger.
I thought it was the other way around. I don't remember. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah, so you give away like parts, but then the main part you need to join for. And it's just like us, like you can get out there and pretty much every training video that we have, you can find out there somewhere online. But why are you here? You're here for community. You're here to get answers from people who have been there before.
You're here for because we put all the information A to Z in order. It's right there for you. Just start at the top of the list and work your way down in the training forums, and you can learn anything. Or if you can't find something, you just ask. So basically, the reason you can give away everything. I know people that have made millions of dollars online that give away everything, but what they sell is organization. They sell steps. They sell A to Z. They sell how to one, two, three, and then they sell access to themselves. So Pat Flynn did this with his food trucker site. He had 50 blog posts written, right, on food on how to start a food truck, how to do it. He literally posted them every week, every single issue, held nothing back. But then he put them all into a book and sold it for $29, and the book sold like hotcakes. Why? People didn't want to wade through the entire blog and go figure out which articles went in order. They just wanted to buy the book, start at the first page, end at the last page, and start a food truck. So basically, you can give it all away for free. You just have to sell organized a plan. The plan is what sells. The guidance is what sells. So basically, that's what you should do. Focus on is how you're going to coach people to do whatever you want them to do and get a result. If you don't deliver results, it doesn't matter how good your content is. You have to deliver results. That's what people want to give you money for. Okay.
All right. Avi says that he posted a question, but I don't see it. Do you?
Where did he post it?
I don't know. I'm not seeing it. So ask
I'll
it
be post that
again
again. Yeah,
because
because we
I
can't
don't
find it.
see it anywhere in here. Somebody, and I forgot who it is, ask which kind. Oh, Tanya says, what technology do you use for your recorded webinars?
I know that you're gonna have to answer that one first. I don't know.
Yeah, I've actually just purchased I don't know what you call it. I guess like software from Webinar Jam. It's called Ever Webinar, and it's just all together Ever Webinar. And basically, they're just for evergreen webinars. So you upload a video. I am actually in the process of uploading my video right now, so I haven't actually used it yet. But I have a friend who is using it right now and really likes it. So might want to check that out.
All right, so that answers that question for the Ever webinar. And I think if you want to, actually, it's is that what Jared uses on
Yes.
PE Geek? Go to thepegeek.com, and if you sign up for Jared Robinson, that's Jared Robinson. He's a good friend of ours from Australia. But if you sign up for his webinars, you will see the process of what that Ever Green webinar thing does. And it'll like make you sign up for a time, and you can just kind of deconstruct how it goes. But that's what he's using, and that's a good example of to see how that works. Okay.
All right, yay, we finally got Avi's
Obby's question
question.
has arrived.
And it says, when or how do you decide that your niche is not working?
Mm. It's one of those. This is one of those age-old questions that we get 1,000 times because it's so hard to answer. You know, I mean, it's so subjective to niche. I hate to say that, again and again, but I think there comes a point where, I don't think I would quit anything for at least 3 months if you just want some kind of arbitrary number to throw out there. I think there's different ways to measure success. Money is not always in the first year. Money is not the best way to measure success. What the best way to measure success in your first year is your audience growing? It can grow at different rates. Are you getting emails? I would not measure your success on Twitter and Facebook. We don't care. We could care less about how many people like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter or pin our pins or all that stuff. We really don't even care about that. The only thing we care about is our website traffic and our email list growing. As long as those two things are happening, we know that we can run a successful online business, and everything else is just vanity numbers. So it's not always about the money. It's not always about all the vanity metrics. But if your audience is growing, if your traffic is growing, and if you are making progress toward paid products, if your paid products are selling, maybe not selling like hotcakes, but if you are finding people to buy them, and maybe you just need to tweak some things in your marketing, as long as progress is happening, I think that you can keep going. A lot of people quit right before they have big success. Jeanette's in here, and I hate to always call Jeanette out, but she just like crushes it every. She works harder than we do. I swear she does. But like, Jeanette was at a point where she, would have months making a few cents. What if she had stopped right before she started making thousands and started a membership community with, 70 or 80 people? So I think it's hard to gauge that, but if you're moving forward and your energy's not drained, if you hate what you're doing, that's probably a good sign you shouldn't be in it.
Yeah, I would just go back to the whole heavy and light thing. If it's something that feels heavy to you and you just really kind of dread doing it, then it might not be the right direction for you. But if it's something that you do enjoy and you've done the Google research on it, there are searches, and that's not the gospel. According to Google,
Oh,
I never
no
should have
doubt.
started elementary librarian, and it's been a crazy success.
Yep.
So don't put all your stock in those Google numbers, but make sure that people are searching for what you're trying to do.
Make sure there's other people selling what you're trying to sell. You want competition because that proves that people are out there actually buying your products.
Another thing you can do is get on Amazon. Are people writing books about
Yep.
this? Are they selling?
Yep.
You can look and see what rank they are. That's just a couple of more indications that you may possibly be on the right track. It's not necessarily the only things that you need to look for, but those are a couple of things that you can look for. Are people opting in to your opt in bonus? That
Yep.
is a huge
Huge
thing.
thing.
If people are not opting in, then you are not taking care of a pain point for them. And that's what we're all here for. If you're not solving a problem for somebody, you're probably not going to make a whole lot of money online.
Also, look yourself in the mirror. That's another thing. There's the mirror test. Oh, my business isn't working. I'm just going to quit and try something else. Well, a lot of times that's a cop out because you might not be doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing in your business. Are you creating content consistently? Have you been in this for a while? I'm sorry to tell everybody this, but you are not going to make a ton of money in your first 6 months of business unless you hit something home run by accident. It does not happen that way. A lot of business gurus out there tell you that it does. It takes months and months and months to be an overnight success. Jocelyn and I did not quit our jobs for over a year. It took us 13 months to even get in the position to jump off the ledge. And it was probably really a little bit early, but we did it anyway. But you're not going to have overnight success. It might take you a few months. It's like I said with Facebook ads. A lot of people try Facebook ads for a week, paying $5 a day, and they're like, well, Facebook ads don't work. It takes you an investment of $500 to $1,000 that you'll probably never get back to figure out an ad that hits, and then you climb back up the mountain and start making money again. So eventually you'll cover that $1,000, but you're going to have to spend that money up front to compare ads and see what's working. That's just the way it is. That's why it's called an investment.
And that's the beauty of being a part of a community like Flip Your Life, because you can get in those forums. Give us specific examples.
Yeah.
Tell us what you're searching for on Google, what you think other people are searching for. Give us that information. And, people hopefully are not going to steal it from you. Don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
don't worry about
We're
that.
not going to steal your niche from you.
Even if
We
they
want to
did,
help
there's
you.
6 billion people. It doesn't matter. If you like we said, you want people in your niche. That proves there's a business.
So throw it out there. I mean, get in the forums and say, this is what I'm thinking about. This is what I would like to
Share your
do.
numbers.
And is it going to work? What should I do differently? That's what we're here for. That's what these forums are here for. Use them.
So you could also share your emails every week. I got 10 emails this week. Well, last week I got 12. Why did I go down? Why did I go up? I think it was this. I think it was that. And we can evaluate kind of in real time what exactly is happening in your online business. And someone said something amazing the other day that blew my mind. And it was the total truth of why community is superior to training. I'll say it till the end of time. They said, thank you so much. It takes me minutes to get answers in the Flip Your Life forums where it used to take me hours or days of searching on the internet. And that is so true. When you have 300 or 400 really smart people in a room, you're going to be able to find your answer like really quick. So let's start putting those numbers out there. Let's get a little more specific. Let's talk weekly growth, and we'll see if we can see what's making you grow. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got next here.
All right. We got Dino again, who says, where would you start when trying to find other products to sell to your niche and avatar?
Say that one more time.
Where would you start when trying to find other products to sell to your niche and avatar?
With your niche and avatar. If you have, you said earlier, Dino, that you had an audience, you have a subscription business, you have an avatar that is already buying you products. Don't guess. Go ask them. Ask them what they want. See what they're looking for. See other things that they're buying, and they will tell you exactly what they need. Okay. When we decide what we're going to put in the training, like for example, 2 months ago, We hadn't put a video out since we had started Flip Your Life. Everybody was asking how to start a forum. So I just looked over at Jocelyn and said, I'm just going to record a video because everybody wants to know this. Our audience told us they were ready to learn how to install forums on their websites because they wanted to test this membership model out. And now we've got tons of people making money in this membership forum model. Laura just posted in the chat, just wanted to say thank you for suggesting a membership model. My site is starting to grow and I've already got some second month payments. So she started her membership back when we did these forum videos, but our audience told us what they wanted and we just did that. There's no, once you've researched your audience and you build some kind of a community, you now have a place to go ask directly. You don't have to search anymore for that answer. So ask your people, do surveys, get people on the phone, offer them, a free call to see what they need support with, and get on there, and they will tell you what they want more than anybody outside your niche could ever do. Okay. All right. I think we've got time for maybe one or two more questions. We've had a lot of ground covered today. This has been an awesome call. Tons of great questions. Let's see. Let's read some of these comments. Let's see here. We just read Laura's, and Eric had a good comment. Jeanette, I think having a runway is really important. Give yourself X number of months time to grow your business. Runways are a very good idea. Don't think it's going to happen in a month because it's not going to. Consistency, great point. Talking a lot about consistency. What did Jeanette say? Jeanette said, I wanted to quit a lot, but I keep coming back to it. Something would not let me give up. Hold on. Oh, on her online business, right? Oh, because we talked about how she almost quit. Eric said he signed up for Rick Mulready's Facebook Advantage course. I saw a couple other people that did that too. That is a great course to learn how to do Facebook marketing. We actually watched it a long time ago. We've got an affiliate link too. I will not share that
Yeah, I was
here,
saying
but
too
we do have that.
that I also follow John Loomer. That's Jon Loomer, Loomer. He is a Facebook expert too, and he has some
He's
sort
smart,
of,
very
yeah,
smart.
he has a few like contrarian things that he says about Facebook, but I actually like it because he really analyzes what's going on with Facebook and all the changes, and he's really good if you're not following him.
Okay. All right. We got another question here from Sarah. Sarah asks, I have a big list of subscribers, and Sarah does. She has a good, very large list, but not a big list of buyers. How do I change that? That is clearly, Sarah, you have an audience that is resonating with what you're doing, but the offer for big payments is not correct. So you might be trying to, we've talked a lot about Sarah's website is printablecharm.com. Is that how you say that? Is it printable charm?
I think so, yeah.
And Sarah, you can put a link in the chat if you want to. But basically, we may need to really look at your product line. Something's out of whack. We can't figure out exactly what it is. You might be trying to charge for stuff that should be free, or like we talked about earlier, all those individual products are muddying the water and nobody would buy them individually, but they might pay for access to all of them at once to go get what they need. Like you've got printable charm the printable charm stuff for like organization and things like that. That might be something that happens at different times of the year. So they'll pay to have access to everything and a community to get advice, and then they grab the stuff that they need when they need it. So that's probably something along those lines. Usually, if you've got people resonating with your message, you've got one part of the equation. The problem is usually in the offer at that point. You've got the subscribers, you've got a lot of people listening, but now you just got to give them the right offer to move them, and they're very close. This goes back to that question of when do you quit? When you've got people resonating with what you're doing, and you've got people moving into your brand, and you've got people engaged, you just have to move them one more step. Don't give up. We've just got to figure out what that next step is. So I think the offer is so important in a situation like yours where you've got tons of subscribers. I had the same thing kind of happen with the football stuff. I had a lot of emails, ton of emails, but the things I was kind of throwing out there, a little special teams playbook here, a little drill here and there. None of that was really working. It wasn't really adding up to money until I really got the offer right, which was some trial and error and some time. And that's when it all really worked. That's when I got the offer to the right audience, everything clicked and it just went off like gangbusters.
Well, and it's not even the offer alone. I mean, it's also like the process to get to the offer. Like you have to think about what is your ultimate goal, and then how is your opt-in and your email autoresponder, how is that bringing people closer to that goal? Because when people signed up for your email list, they might have signed up for something completely different than the offer that you're offering now.
Mm.
So it's somebody who's obviously interested in what you do, but maybe they're not interested in the current offer for whatever reason. So then you have to go back and think about, okay, is it my offer that's the problem,
The
or
path there,
is it
basically.
my path?
Yeah.
Did I bring people in using the wrong direction? It can be maybe that your emails are just going to like their spam box. Maybe you haven't talked to them in a really long time and those emails are being filtered out. That's a good opportunity to use Facebook ads to upload that list and get people reacquainted with your brand that way.
Yeah, I wonder too. Like, with you've got that big list, and I know we've talked, Sarah, before, so I know you're doing some of this stuff. But like, I just wonder if you're asking your audience the right questions. Are you asking? I mean, we can all say, "What are you struggling with? What are your pain points? What do you want?" Sometimes people don't even know what they want. That's usually what we find when people get a huge audience, but they're really not making money. Is they haven't connected properly with their audience. It's kind of like the merrymakers. You know what I mean? Because the merrymakers are two sisters that live in Australia, and they're crazy. What is it? The merrymakers.com.
Merrymaker Sisters, I
Yeah, or
think.
something like that. Just look up merrymakers and you'll find them. But they're hilarious. They're the funnest Periscope. You watch their Periscope. It's awesome. But basically, what they were doing a lot of things online, but had no clue how to connect with their audience. They were building a huge audience. They got a big following, but they didn't know what to do. And they really realized that their people were following them the most because they were talking about a healthy paleo diet. That's what people really wanted from them. So they wrote this like cookbook, and it just sold like gangbusters because they had to dig and figure out. They had thousands of emails and thousands of followers and lots of people on their blog that loved them, but they just didn't have the right offer. And finally, it clicked. This is why people are here. This is the thing that gets the most traffic on my site. And they attacked that, and it made them successful. Okay. So
Okay,
let's
we have just like a couple of minutes. So
yeah.
I wanted to throw out here to Patrick. He says that he's been doing it since 2007. He's had to explain to many friends, coworkers, and others what I'm doing. They don't understand.
Nobody understands.
That has been the hard part, and they want to know, how do you make money? So I just wanted to speak to that just for a couple of minutes. We have to go get Isaac off the bus in like 5 minutes, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's an awesome comment because nobody really gets it until they get it. I'm going to do one more question from the cruise dudes, Tommy and Scott in the house. Would you recommend I sell my ebook on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, etc., as well as my website? It all depends on the purpose. The bottom line is this: if your book is to make you money, then you should probably only sell it on your website because you can charge the most for it, reap the most profit, and you don't have to share. If you're using your book to declare expertise to the world and use it as your business card, like people find that book and then seek you out at your website, then put it everywhere you can put it. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, anywhere you can get that thing on your site, opt in and give it away for free. You can't make any money selling $2 and $3 ebooks. It's not going to work. But if that's just to get leads and just to build authority, then yes, do it everywhere. But if you're trying to make money off of it, if it's a really detailed book that shows how to do something, charge 25 bucks on it and put it on your site and use something else to get that recognition. Okay. All right, guys. We got some people signing up for email lists on other members things. That's awesome. Love to see that in the chat. It is 3 o'clock here in the Eastern time zone, and we have got to walk down the street and get Isaac off the bus, or he will be standing at the corner, completely lost, and he's only 6, so I don't think he can find his way home. So thank you guys for tuning in today. We got a ton of questions in. Love focusing on your questions and helping you guys take it to the next level. Hope that helped you guys in your online business. If you still have any questions, you know what to do. Don't worry, you can go put them in the forums, and we will try to get to them over the next couple days. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your membership. We love our community. We are as proud of this almost as our kids. This is like one of the best things that we've ever done. And we just love that we're helping so many people to flip their lives just like we have. Keep going, guys. Keep working. It's going to happen. You just got to get there, and we will help you get there. Okay. So until next time, we will see y'all later and catch y'all on the flip side and all that good stuff. Go listen to the podcast from earlier today.
bye. Have a good afternoon.
See you guys.